All right, let's just get right into it. If you're using AI tools, day in and day out, I am willing to bet you felt something. A really weird new feeling that's kind of shaking up the whole world of knowledge work. So today, we're going to unpack what that feeling is and, more importantly, figure out what on earth to do about it. And this is the question, isn't it? It's probably been bouncing around in the back of your head. On one hand, you're getting so much more done, way faster than before. But on the other hand, are your actual skills getting better? Or are they, maybe getting a little bit weaker?
I mean, this quote just hits the nail on the head. That's the feeling exactly. It's this anxiety, this worry that we're not actually mastering a cool new tool, but maybe just leaning on a crutch that we're starting to get way, way too dependent on.
But it's funny. This isn't some new 21st century fear. I mean, go way back. Socrates himself was seriously worried that the invention of writing was going to make everyone's memory just turn to mush. With AI, though, let's be honest, the stakes just feel a whole lot bigger.
So, the way people usually argue about this, it's just a total dead end. We're going to see why that whole smarter versus dumber thing is a trap. It's actually stopping us from seeing what's really going on here.
And you've heard both sides a million times, right? You've got the pessimists who are totally convinced we're just outsourcing our brains. And then you've got the optimists who say, no, we're just freeing up our minds for higher level thinking. And look, they both kind of have a point, but they're both missing the bigger picture.
Asking if AI makes us smarter or dumber is kind of like asking if a hammer is a good tool or a bad one. Well, it totally depends, right? Are you building a house with it, or are you, smashing your thumb? The tool is just a tool.
And that's really the heart of it. We're asking the wrong question. AI isn't some magical force that just does something to us. The tool's impact comes down to how we decide to use it, which means we need a much better way to think about that choice.
So here it is. This is the real framework. It's not about being smarter or dumber. It's a choice we make every single time between two different ways of using these tools, compression and substitution.
So this is the question you need to start asking yourself. Every time you open up an AI tool, just ask, am I compressing or am I substituting? What's so great about this is that it puts all the power right back in your hands. It stops being about the AI and it becomes about what you are doing. Okay, let's break this down. First, compression. This is when you're actively using AI to help you see patterns, to understand things on a deeper level, so that you can build a better mental model inside your own head. Think of it like a tough workout at the gym. Yeah, it's hard work up front, but you're actually building muscle. You're getting permanently strong.
And then you've got the other mode, substitution. This is what happens when you use AI just to get the answer, to skip the hard part of thinking it through yourself. It feels awesome, it's super easy in the moment, but it leads straight to your skills getting stuck in one place, and you become totally dependent on the tool.
When you see it laid out like this, the difference is just so clear. With compression, your goal is to build a mental model. With substitution, your goal is to avoid one. One road leads to real, actual growth. The other, well, it leads to stagnation and being completely reliant on the tech.
And what's so wild is that this isn't just about AI. We've faced this exact same choice with every major thinking tool in history. Writing, calculus, even the pocket calculator. Every single time, we had to decide, are we going to use this to compress information and grow our own minds, or just to substitute for thinking and let our skills atrophy?
Okay, so we get the idea. We've got the framework. But now for the really important part. How do we actually do this? How do we stay in that growth mode? This next part is all about giving you a simple toolkit to help you choose compression on purpose. So let's talk about the green flags. These are the signs that you're doing it right. You're in compression mode if you could explain why the AI gave you that answer. If you're using it to take on bigger, tougher problems than you could before. And this one's huge. If you can spot when the AI messes up, that means you're still in charge.
Now, the red flags. These are the big warning signs that you're slipping into substitution. Does the thought of the AI being down for a day fill you with actual panic? Are you just doing the exact same work you've always done, just faster? Are you, and be honest, just blindly copying and pasting whatever it spits out?
Here's a really good way to check in with yourself. It's called the removal test. Super simple. If all your AI tools just poof, disappear tomorrow, would you be totally helpless? Or would you just be a little bit slower? If the answer is helpless, that is a massive red flag.
Okay, next up, the explanation test. So, you used AI to figure something out? Great. Now, could you turn around and teach that same concept to somebody else without the AI's help? If you can't, you haven't really compressed it into your own brain yet.
And last one, the trajectory test. This is about your growth over time. Are the problems you're tackling today bigger and more complex than the ones you were working on 6 months ago? If they're not, you might be stuck on a plateau. This test checks for real, tangible growth.
So this all boils down to a pretty simple 4-step game plan. 1. Always try to solve the problem yourself first, before you even think about using AI. 2. Force yourself to explain the AI's output back to yourself. Say it out loud. Teach it to someone. That's how you really learn it. 3. Use AI to push your own boundaries. Ask it to explore weird ideas, strange edge cases. And 4. Keep an eye on your trajectory. Actively ask yourself, am I leveling up?
Right, let's zoom out for a second, because this choice, compression or substitution, it's not just about you and your job. It actually has huge, massive implications for all of us, for our whole future. We are, all of us, standing at a giant fork in the road.
And there are two very different futures ahead. Down one path, if we all choose compression, humanity could accelerate everything, science, art, technology, in ways we can't even imagine. But down the other path, the substitution path, we just become fragile button pushers, operating these complex systems that we don't even really understand anymore. So at the end of the day, this whole story isn't about what AI is going to do to us. It's about what we are going to choose to do with it. The power, the choice, it's all in our hands. So, the future of your own skills, and, in a big way, our collective future, it might all come down to the answer to this one simple question. So you have to ask yourself, are you compressing or are you substituting?